Welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice. Today's topic is Aminatou. First, we're going to start with a little story. I decided this week to look through my decks to see what deck was the least liked, the least played, which one could stand the best upgrade. Well, sadly, my eyes fell upon Aminatou. And inside there was a small note, a note to self as it were, that says upgrade Aminatou from annoyance to nuisance to nightmare. So that's exactly what I decided to do. So today's deck tech is, if you can even call it that, it's a look at Aminatou and what that deck looks like. When I got the deck, one of the first things I did was check the mana base. One of the things that I found with the mana base was, of the 40 land cards that are in this deck, I think that's even more than in my Lord Windgrace deck. Of those 40 cards, there were 15 that come in tapped. Not very good odds as far as I'm concerned. As a matter of fact, let's take a second and see what 5 draws look like. So taking a look at that, you can see that even though it may have worked 2 or 3 out of 5, those aren't the kind of odds that I wanted. So I went ahead and put that whole deck into tappedout.net just to see what that deck actually looked like. I was shocked and horrified to see that it had a 68% competitive rating. So looking at that, I immediately got busy with charts and such, doing my research, and I gotta say it was a solid week before I realized I wasn't piloting the deck correctly. So I decided to take the deck out for a spin. Well, sure enough, the deck performed admirably. While I didn't win every game that I played, I never felt like I was that far behind. Even with only 6 lands, 10, 12 turns into the game, I still didn't feel like I was behind. So that deck list actually is recorded below in the link, and it started off as a bad base is what it's called, but we're going to get into the 5 combos that I have to improve it now. So of these different combos, they can go in any deck that is appropriate, but first of all, we're going to start with just gas, just plain gas. Actually, maybe you need an engine for your deck to make it work. Feldar Guardian and Restoration Angel is the key to getting your EBT and LBT triggers. Of course, when the Feldar Guardian comes onto the battlefield with a Restoration in hand, you simply cast the Restoration Elder, let's try that again, the Restoration Angel, bounce the Feldar Guardian, and repeat as necessary. So, these next few I'm going to talk about are based on price. Again, I want to keep my combos less than, say, $5 or so. With that in mind, these are the more expensive ones to start with. $8 I don't think is outside my range for an instant kill, and that's what you get when you use Beacon of Immortality and Tainted Remedy. Instead of them gaining life, they will immediately lose the game, so it's great for taking out a single player. So, Beacon of Immortality, Tainted Remedy, gonna cost about $8, well worth checking into. This other one is going to result in, well, a couple of these are going to have duplicate cards in them. So, Stuffy Doll and Guilty Conscience results in infinite damage to a single opponent. Using the Blink ability, you can bring Aminatou to redirect the Stuffy Doll as you need to. But at any rate, you're going to tap the Stuffy Doll, deal 1 damage to chosen opponent that will trigger Guilty Conscience, and 1 damage to the Stuffy Doll, and then 1 to the opponent. Repeat steps infinitely until the player's dead. So the next one, same thing, except in this case, it results in a draw for the game. So, using Pariah and Stuffy Doll cost you about $5, but if you want to frustrate the entire table, that's the way to go. Same repeating steps as the one before. Next, we'll move on to our Island Sanctuary. Island Sanctuary followed up with an archetype of Imagination. It's going to cost you about $3.50. It's going to result in only creatures with Island Walk can attack you, and you need just both of these cards on the table, and you're set. For about $4, you can mix that Island Sanctuary with a Mystic Decree. Results in the fact that no creatures can attack you. And let's see, where are we at here? The inevitable one that we of course are going to talk about is Solemnity and 9 lives. Definitely a good way to lock things up, but it doesn't protect you from things like poison, or rather it does protect you from poison counters, it doesn't protect you from loss of life. Something to keep in mind. Also, with that Solemnity, you can use Phyrexian Unlife. In that case, you can't lose the game having 0 life, and you can't lose the game due to infect damage. So adding these combos to the deck result in me just pushing that needle to a 69% chance of the deck being an aggressive one. But I think Aminatou is quickly becoming one of my new favorite commanders. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. If so, please click the like button, like, comment, and subscribe, and we look forward to talking to you next time.